for the first time in I don't know how many years. I'm done cleaning my classroom, and I was told I didn't have to take everything down. Do you know how much work I have saved myself for next August? Like, it's crazy. Everything's done. I just have some stuff on my desk here that I have to bring back because they were leftovers from a party, and they're napkins and cups, and I don't want to keep them there. But Madame la prof, elle a fini son ménage. Yay! So that means I can talk to you this morning. Oh, it's a bit crooked. The camera's a bit crooked. I guess I'll sit here. It is a bit crooked, but you know, I need a new tripod. I left my coffee in the staff room because my hands were full and there was only so many things I could carry. But yeah, welcome back to, I don't want to say, is this going to be my last Teacher's Wake Up Call? But it's not a Teacher's Wake Up Call, it is a free-form Friday, because first of all, Canada won 6-0. Oh my God. So I went out for dinner with a friend, and when I got back to the car, they were already at 3-0. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? Is this a good thing? It's a good thing. I shrieked. In the car when I saw the score, I shrieked. Turned on the radio, one of the AM channels broadcasts some of the games, so I started listening. And in the 10-15 minutes it took me to get home, they scored twice. It was already 5-0. Like, this is unbelievable. This is amazing. This means that Canada will definitely win their first World Cup game ever. And then when I got home, turned the game on, they scored again. 6-0. Okay, so first of all, that is totally a hockey score. That is a hockey score game. Even the game that Germany played, 7-1, that's a hockey game. Those are scores for a hockey game. I'm sure there will be analysts talking about soccer, football games today versus maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and how scores have increased, goals have increased, and I'm wondering if it's, I don't know much about football. I don't know much about soccer. But I'm wondering out loud if this is because of the way the groups were made and who is in the groups. And I'm not saying we should have been put in the same group as Brazil and Germany. I'm not saying that. But I'm wondering, because they have increased the amount of teams who are participating in the tournament, is it easier for certain teams? I mean, Canada's ranked 28th, 27th? I can't remember exactly. Where does Qatar stand? And are they that? I don't want to say that Qatar's a weak team. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of wind today, and I'm just looking at the tree in front of my classroom, and it's moving. It is dizzying. It is so odd. So if I seem distracted, it's because the tree is going bonkers. So I'm happy because Canada won. Yes. So our next game is next week. Can't wait. And it's against Switzerland. All we need to do is tie. And we move along. But also, Switzerland beat Bosnia 4-1. I have no idea what that means, but I'm excited. So I wanted to give you an anime update. wanted to give you an anime update because I have started watching 2 series with my daughter. Because every now and again, my daughter and I will, as we used to, watch stuff together. Now, I am not going to hide it. Once upon a time, my daughter and I could watch almost anything together. But you know, as a child ages, their tastes begin to differ from yours. Like, she's gonna watch stuff on YouTube that I'll just blame my Gen X sense of humor. We do not find the same things funny. But every now and again, we will find a series that we will enjoy watching together. And she introduced me to the first series, was Kami-sama Kiss. Cute. I qualify that anime as fluffy. It is fluffy. It is cute. I don't want to say it's very slice of life, but it almost feels slice of life because I'm trying to see the progression. There is an overarching theme where the main character is trying to gain the affection of the fox. I forget their names. I'm horrible with names. I'm horrible with names with my students. I'm horrible with names in series, okay? But I like it. I like it. It's not too confusing. It's not too complicated. Unlike, this is sad. I love Jujutsu Kaisen, but the culling game arc is, it's like, wait, let me reread this again, let me rewatch this again to understand, because like I'm just watching it for the animation and the action scenes now, because the storyline is, wait, what? How many rules? So at least Kami-sama Kiss, it's fluffy. You can watch that and not be too, not worry. If you like decide like, well, I'm gonna pause here and I'm gonna come back in a couple weeks, you're fine. You're fine. The other one that I was ready to give up on after episode 2, 3. Now, normally if I would see, like if I would watch this on my own, I would have given up. But you know, my daughter said, come on, just watch another episode. So I kept on watching. And then when I was ready to give up, it hooked me back in. Mieruko-chan, which is a story of this girl, this teenager, high schooler, who sees, I see dead people. She sees demons, she sees curses, she sees like bad stuff. And the bad stuff are horrific beings. They are disgusting. And then I watched like 2 episodes and there's this undertone of, I think they're trying to be cheeky, but it's kind of like, okay, you're objectifying teenage girls. Could we please stop that? So it's very cringy. It's very icky. But then there are moments, like the moment that finally convinced me, I guess I'm gonna watch this, is when, spoiler alert, hashtag if you haven't watched this, hashtag spoilers, like stop, pause, forward to the end, I don't know. She sees the ghost of her dad, and throughout like the first couple of episodes, you're convinced that the father is very well alive. And then at the end of that episode, you discover, oh, Schnitzel, he be dead. And it's his ghost talking to her. And that's when I said, alrighty, you got me. And then it just develops, but it's still very much, every episode she encounters new demons and new ghosts. There's no, at least at this point in time, there's no explanation. And her best friend is also special. She's got a super strong aura and eats all the time. because she needs to feed that aura. But we understand that. It's never said. So there's a lot of stuff that is unsaid in this series. Like, you're always hoping at one point there will be a narrator, there'll be somebody, there'll be someone, there'll be a new character who will, you know, show up and say, "You're a wizard, Harry," something like that, okay? But there's nothing so far. It's just teenage girl who sees things, who denies seeing things. She doesn't want to acknowledge and say, "Yeah, I can see you." Because in her head, if she denies, if she says, "No, I don't see you," they won't do anything to her. Okay. Still. Is that what we would call a slow burn? I think that's what we call a slow burn. So, Mieruko-chan? And I'm kind of proud because with even my limited Japanese, I was able to recognize the kanjis and understand. It's like, oh, that means child, and that means something visible or being able to see. And like, kind of happy. So yeah, so that's my anime update in a free-form Friday in my very empty class. But of course now I am already planning what am I going to put in this classroom. And I don't know who I'm going to be sharing the space with. I don't know who I'm going to be sharing the space with next year, because the guy who was teaching, I don't say with me, but he was teaching in this class, was another French teacher, is changing schools. So I don't know who I'm sharing space with. Maybe it'll be one of my colleagues, my current colleagues. Maybe it'll be somebody new. I don't know. And who knows, maybe my workload will change next year. I don't know. Oh, I forgot to take off that. I've taken down some of the stuff that I already have on my walls, not because I have to, but because I want to, because I'm going to replace it with something else. But most of the stuff that I'm leaving on the walls, because I want it there. I want it there. And yeah, I might change some things. But I'm keeping the rest there. Because I'm going to limit the work that I have to do, which is so satisfying. Knowing that I've got less stuff to do in August is huge. It's huge. Now I have to go back to the staff room so I can prepare a floor plan, or maybe I could just like take a picture and print it. I don't know. I'm going to see. I'm going to make something to put on the wall to tell the workers this summer, like, yo, this is how I want my classroom. And they're pretty good about it. They pretty much set it up the way you want it, and I like that. So yeah. So until we see each other again, have yourselves an awesome day.